AI is a fantastic tool. Bring your creativity to the next level. My name is Giampaolo Bassi. I work for Dassault Systèmes in an organization called Mainstream Innovation, which is the go-to-market of the SolidWorks portfolio.
And my name is Laurent Souata. I'm Managing Director for Visiative Switzerland, so I'm responsible for all the business of Visiative on this country.
Where we are celebrating the 30th anniversary of SolidWorks this year.
Because the future of engineering and manufacturing belongs to the company who embrace the new technologies that are coming.
What are Dassault Systèmes' top strategic priorities over the next 3 to 5 years? And how do you see SolidWorks continuing to play a central role?
Dassault Systèmes has just announced a new generation of a vision, so to speak. It's called Gen 7 3D Universes, and this is the highest priority. What is Gen 7? In a way, the positioning is Dassault Systèmes wants to help our customers create their IP in the best possible way. And also Dassault Systèmes offers to take the responsibility to protect, preserve, and keep it safe for the foreseeable future. That is a huge change in the value proposition and the way we engage with the customers. Not only we help our customers to create their IP. We have been doing this for a long, long time. And of course, we will continue to do this. And now with the new technologies that are being infused into our platform and in our system, is going to be even more effective, more productive, and bring, I would say, to a next level of productivity. And this is the highest priority, I believe. And there is a lot of change management that is happening. And the role of SolidWorks is, of course, to be part of this Gen 7, I would say, revolution or evolution, if you prefer, because the same level of advance, the same type of problems are widespread in the industry. Not only large companies, big OEM, but the companies of any size need to be more productive, need to shorten the time to market, but more importantly, they need to achieve continuity. They need to be able to create IP in a 360-degree type of landscape. So they need to connect the dots. And they need to do it in a safe way. It's extremely important now. They need to create IP not only on the manufacturing and design, but everything related to the business. For instance, IP, very important part of the IP of a company is a business model, is a business strategy, is the introduction of a new product or the supply chain, how you configure your supply chain. All of this is IP, and this is the priority for Dassault Systèmes and SolidWorks moving forward. Help build, and very importantly, protect and share safely your IP.
How do you see our role evolving in the coming years, especially as the business moves toward cloud, AI, and platform adoption?
So going from a widespread set of processes tailored to on-premise assets, okay, and on workflows that have been ingrained for many, many years. They've been brought to a certain level of productivity, but now they've hit the ceiling. That is what all my customers are saying. They reached an increasing productivity at the beginning, but now they're tapering off. So it is our job now to introduce the new wave technology, to introduce platform thinking, to bring to them the next level of opportunity to optimize and perfect their workflows and their business models and their go-to-market strategy. And this is a huge change management. And to do that, we need a very close proximity with the clients. And that is the role of Visiative. The fact that they have an international presence is very important, because guess what? Our customers are international as well. And they would like to have a single point of contact for everything related to business support and so on. And for us, strategically speaking, having the voice of customers very close to the ears of the Systèmes through our partners is a top priority. And we want to actually further expand that.
How does Visiative position itself to best support these priorities, and where do you see the strongest growth opportunities?
So at Visiative, we position ourselves as a trusted advisor. And our goal is really to turn technology into business value for our customer, to helping them to reach their target. And that's why we invested a lot early and significantly on the 3D experience to build strong knowledge and being able to support the customer for this change. And I think this is really important with this platform, because the Dassault product we sell, once limited to the design office, now empower the whole processes and the whole company from our customer. We need to be really well trained on the platform, and in parallel of that, we are also working on all the artificial intelligence tools that can bring efficiency to our customer. We see the stronger growth opportunity by expanding the PLM beyond the engineering design side, and come across all the discipline that we have in a company, and supporting our customer with this development.
What concrete steps are being taken to bring SOLIDWORKS users closer to the 3D experience platform, and what is the key benefit you want every customer to experience?
So first of all, seamless integration. So we really wanted to be part, I would say, full citizen of the 3D experience platform. And as a matter of fact, in Dassault Systèmes, there is no alternative, I would say. There are 12 brands, there are 12 industries, but we have one platform. And we are compelled to all speak the same language, which is not an easy task to perform. The other thing is to make it easy for our customers to adopt this breadth and depth of technology and size. To do that, we create a portfolio with the right pricing, with the right configuration that is easy to understand, and it's easy to adopt, highly modular for the customers. And part of it is also the shift into the cloud. The cloud and the platform give our customers this opportunity to be on a single source of truth, to achieve the Industry 4.0 tenet, fundamental tenet of digital continuity. We give our customers the ability to truly create virtual twins, which is the fundamental premise to create a better IP and better protect the IP. So the proposition right now to our customers is, okay, you have been successful with the SolidWorks, you moved into the world of 3D models, accurate 3D models. Guess what? This is not all you need to be successful. You need to expand your domains and your integration into manufacturing, into simulation, into governance, data management, to have a better collaboration with all your stakeholders, and also into sales and marketing. Because at the end, all of this is necessary to be successful with the product. A perfect design is not sufficient anymore. And now we have the tools, the portfolio, and the partners that can bring this message and this transformation plan directly to our customers.
From your experience, what are the biggest drivers to adoption, and what concerns do you hear most often when introducing 3D experience alongside SolidWorks?
Definitely, the main advantage that the customer sees is the collaboration and the efficiency, and they want to get rid of all of these tools they implemented during the time to be around just one single of true product. That is the 3D experience. So definitely this is the best advantage, and usually the customer see how the project and the document, the flow move faster. And the main concern usually is the customer adoption. Again, as I said also for Visiative, it's always a work to educate, to make the team understand how it will contribute for the whole company, and how each element that they use contribute for the whole. And so we are here to help them to make the move.
Will SolidWorks remain a standalone solution in the long term?
As a matter of fact, our clients don't like point solutions. If standalone is point solution, of course SolidWorks will stay the same, will fulfill the same expectation from a CAD designer point of view, because we have been doing this for 30 years. By the way, we are celebrating the 30th anniversary of SolidWorks this year. So what a designer expects from SolidWorks will keep coming and will be even better and better. But the SolidWorks destiny is not as an isolated solution. The value will come from the fact that it is integrated is a much larger and useful ecosystem. The fact that it can connect to the cloud, for instance, and take full benefit of AI applications that need this type of platform layout and technology in order to fully display their potential. So SolidWorks, as people like and know it, will keep being developed forever, I can assure that. But the fact that it is integrated in the larger ecosystem will even enhance further the capabilities that they will give to the engineering community.
How do you reassure SMEs hesitant about cloud adoption?
So the cloud is clearly on the lip of everybody at this time, and but it's also amazing how I would say in 2-3 years how the mentality are changing. So first of all, to reassure when there is really concern about that for the customer, we are close to Dassault, so we organize a presentation with a cloud specialist from Dassault who can really demonstrate the highly secure system that is the free experience. And I would say in general, the reality, unfortunately, I have to say, is that for all of our customers, the question is not if they will be hacked one day, the real question is when. And we see a lot of cases, many more and more every time. And so that's why for us, the on-premise solution is no longer a guarantee for security.
AI is often described as the next big disruptor. How is it already embedded in your solutions? And where do you see the most exciting applications for engineers?
New technologies are disruptive, but are disruptive mostly for those that don't adopt them. So I think this is the message, and this is what our customers understand very well. We are very pragmatic. We have introduced with this version, the current version of SolidWorks. Today, our customers can use 14 facilities, 14 different AI assistants that perform very specific tasks. All of them are very exciting. I would mention 2 in particular because are very close to my heart. The one is the ability to automatically create drawings and get much faster and better at doing that because it is a machine learning technology. So the more parts and drawings you start uploading into our database in the cloud, the more the machine learning algorithm can create a larger and more accurate model, and therefore will create faster and more accurate drawings, 2D drawings, which is, I believe, still an important part of the documentation that companies have to do. However, there is very intellectual property in the act of creation, in the act of creating a drawing. It's just documenting what a designer has already decided, using, by the way, protocols like model-based definition, where all the tolerances, the manufacturing operations, the surface distances, all is already defined. So decorating a paper to explain all of this that is already included in the 3D model is, quite frankly, not a very rewarding experience for an engineer. Engineers are like to invent, to imagine new things, not to do work that can be easily automated. Well, it's not that easy to automate drawings, but we believe AI and machine learning, these neural networks are facilitating this type of automation. And for me, it's one of the most interesting. I would like to mention another one, and it is the use of AI assistants to help create design of experiments with the use of simulation. Simulation is a very advanced and sophisticated technology, especially for us, because we can cover any type of simulation in every domain. We can go from structural simulation, linear, nonlinear, all the way into computational fluid dynamics, electromagnetic interaction, mold flow simulation. So every type of simulation that is necessary for an object in real life can be reproduced virtually. But it is not a complex task. You need to have a lot of knowledge to use properly simulation, and sometimes it's intimidating. So, but we believe that an AI assistant can actually lead the designer to use simulation much more effectively and with much more confidence of the results, because machine learning has this capability to compare the results of a new simulation study with what was done in the precedence, and therefore give some sort of validation. This was already done in a similar type of project, so these results are done with a setup that is similar, and therefore the accuracy is guaranteed. Another aspect is that machines are very efficient at iterating. Now, what an engineer likes to do is to test different versions of his design, maybe changing the parameters, changing the configuration, changing the components. But it's very time costly, because every time you do that, guess what? You have to rebuild a simulation study. Now, AI can help that to shorten the time to do that, to automatically, for instance, present a different configuration of parameters in order to achieve determined business tasks. For instance, do you want to minimize the weight? Do you want to minimize the cost? You want to minimize the cost in terms of CO2 production for a given assembly, for instance. And these type of iterations are tedious, are costly, and artificial intelligence can help tremendously.
How do you help customers not only adopt AI, but also trust it and integrate it into daily workflows?
I was a designer. When you listen to all of these things that the AI will and can do for engineering, I would say that I really miss this feature when I was a designer. So what I can say is that it's far more easy to introduce AI to company than, for example, cloud, as we speak just before. And so to introduce AI, usually we start small. We start with practical use, and then we guide the customer on how he could use AI during all of this daily task. The goal really of this topic is to save time and at least not waste time on tasks that is not really interesting, even boring, I would say, like drafting, for example. And so we accompany the customer to take the better of the solution depending of the need. And to reassure, I think it's like the cloud. It's really important for the customer to understand how it works. So we are transparent on where come from the data, what are the assumptions, and how trustful could be the results that the customer have.
Do you see AI as mainly an automation tool, or can it also become a creative design partner?
AI is a fantastic tool and can bring your creativity to the next level. Also because it frees you the time that you need to create, to invent, to innovate, to think, by eliminating tedious tasks like drafting or fixing error and so on. I think I would like to bring to you an anecdote, because I think it is still very valid. So in the 60s, Pablo Picasso, the famous painter, was asked, "What do you think of computers?" And he said, "Well, they're not very interesting to me because they only answer questions." And when I read the statement, I said, "But what does he mean?" And then it dawned to me that this is a very profound statement. Yes, computers and AI are very good at answering questions, but the point is who articulate the question. And this is still the work of humans. This is still where humans brighten the world and the landscape. Articulating the problem, focusing on the problem is the most important activity. And yes, AI, as many other tools, will help tremendously.
How do you ensure transparency and trust in AI-driven decisions?
In the end, again, humans are at the center. They need to use human ingenuity and instinct to trust what AI tells. But this is still the same thing, right? How do humans trust the result of a simulation? Is by experience, by knowledge, by cross-check, by iteration, okay? By connecting with the standards, by connecting with company norms and international regulations. all of this needs to be cross-checked, and it's the job of a human at the end. At the end, the final decision has been taken by a human, and AI is nothing more than one of the many tools that humans do to create things.
And I would just add that, again, it's about transparency and to understand how it works. I mean, AI is not magical. And so we are clear also what data the tool is using to provide the solution. And so it can also reassure the customer that it's not just an idea from nowhere.
Yeah, I also want to add that this is a very important point, because AI is as good as the material he's trained on right now, okay? And by providing our customers industrial AI, we ensure them that the companions are trained on industrial strength, on the industrial knowledge that Dassault Systèmes and partners have. In addition to that, the model can be augmented with the intellectual property of the company that will stay confidential within the firewall of the company. But these models are trained not on the open internet at all. They are trained on the years and years of experience that Dassault Systèmes in industries and in the years of experience that our customers have, through years and years of experience. So the source is, I would say, the most important point about confidence is what AI is giving back to you.
How are you making innovation accessible not only to global enterprises, but also to SMEs, which are the backbone of the SolidWorks community?
Job, since the beginning, our inspiration, our dream was to democratize the use of advanced technology. We started 30 years ago saying we want a 3D modeling to be on the fingertips of every engineers. Now, we want multi-physics to be on the fingertips of every engineer. We want I would say radical and safe collaboration being available on the fingertips of every engineer. Whether this engineer works for a small company or for a large corporation, it doesn't really matter. It's just a matter of scale, and it's a matter of the right to go-to-market strategy, a matter of the right partnership on the ground to help customers do the leap and do a deep transformation. But these values, in my experience, are shared among any size of companies. There is no company that doesn't like the agility that the cloud and off-the-shelf components like SolidWorks can provide. They all love this type of approach and the quick and easy to figure out the return on the investment. So these are values that are absolutely universal. And I am very particular in saying that the platform is the same. The platform that the large OEMs are using today is the same that our makers and students are using because of this scalability that is part of the architecture. So scalability is the key. Large corporation may need an arsenal of tools that is much larger than a smaller corporation. But more often than not, they benefit from the same agility, flexibility, and safety that the cloud implementation of the platform give all of them.
Could you share a concrete example of how you have helped customers accelerate digital transformation?
Yeah, we have many cases, but so in Switzerland, clearly there is the cost of labor, and so it's crucial to be efficient. And one day a customer came to us because he wants to have a system to manage the CAD file. And but after discussion, after questioning, we realized that it was just the tip of the iceberg. And that's why, in case like that, we conduct digital transformation assessment. The goal for us is really to understand the processes of the company, to understand all the tools they use, all the pain points, and we also the customer side just before, and we know that within the time there is a lot of different tools for each business unit in the company. And so this is interesting to have something that merge everything. And so after this assessment, we were able to make a further roadmap for the customer with plenty of quick win along the way, in order to transform completely the way they work.
What new service or training models are most effective?
We work a lot on the packages services because this is very important, but also we need to be agile like our customer in this complicated day, I would say. So that's why we have a flex offer, for example, to offer consulting just on an hour level, to have a quick answer or quick modification in a parameter. And also we launch a MyCAD learning offer. The idea is that also all of our customers didn't have the time to come always in an office to follow a training, but we see that it is very important to have well-trained people in your company. And so we propose this offer. It's a subscription, and all of the designer can follow training online, remote or self-paced mode. And I think this is really great for agility for the company.
What are the main challenges in balancing rapid innovation with the reliability customers expect?
I think the major challenge in my experience is the human factor, is the change management. Changing the ways is not easy. Changing the strategy and adopting new ways of working, even if it is proven that are more efficient and bring a great benefit, I think is the biggest challenge in my opinion. But again, that's why it's so important to have proximity with the customers, because they can be guided on this human factor that is universal, which is the resistance to change.
What challenges do you see when helping companies embrace change, and how do you overcome resistance?
Well, like Gianpaolo said, the biggest challenge is the fear of change for our customer. When you know a tool, when you know you use it on a daily basis, it's always complicated to make the change. So to overcome that, we are behind the customer. We show quick wins. We demonstrate to the team that the job will be easier and not harder, and at the end is a real benefit for the whole company. And this is really important that the people, each people understand the value for the whole company and not only for their position.
How do economic uncertainties and new competitors influence your roadmap?
The landscape is a very interesting moment. If you look at what's happening in the marketplace, iconic simulation brands are not independent company anymore. Actually, there is no more independent simulation company in the marketplace today. Well, SolidWorks has guaranteed I would say, the excellence in the simulation. I'm very close to the simulation field. It's very important for my customer because we own it all. It is part of the platform since quite some time, and we have the entire, I would say, sequence of a simulation that we need. That is one thing. And then there is another fact of the stability of the business model. Dassault is famous for saying what it wants to do and also for doing what they want to do. And this is also rare in the marketplace, where the swing of the markets can really influence the company strategy, or the entering of an activist investor. These things are happening. Activist investors come in and change completely your strategy. Dassault is not prone to this type of disruption. Dassault has been around for 40 years, SolidWorks for 30, and we together want to be around for the next 100 years.
How does Visiative's partnership add value to Dassault Systèmes' 3D experience strategy?
Yes, of course, for SolidWorks, the go-to-market strategy is 100% indirect, so basically having a nurturing an ecosystem of partners. And this is not going to change in the future, because I believe it is our factor of strength, and is also, I would say, competitive advantage. So our partners, the support, the closeness with the customers is a competitive advantage. As a matter of fact, we have customers that switch from competing systems that are admittedly powerful and suitable for what they want to do. But the fact that there is a strong local presence, always available to help, is a differentiating factor. And for us, is a competitive advantage. Very importantly, we don't want to change the business model. What is happening in the market today is that our competitors change the way they operate with their partners. They remove the proximity and the intimacy that they have with the customer, then customers. We want this to keep going because it's part of the value that we, through our partners, want to offer. And then, as you said, Visiactive has helped Dassault Systèmes become better, not only in the go-to-market, but also in the technology, in the offer, because they are our probes, our sensors in the market to understand what are the requirements and what are the effects of our decisions at technology level. So this kind of flow of continuous information and collaboration is extremely important because SolidWorks is famous for listening to the customers. And the only way to listen to all the customers that we have is to have a very strong partnership in the territory, and this is what Visiactive gives to us.
How do you see the investments and efforts you've made translating into value for your customers and for the partnership with Dassault Systèmes?
I can definitely be more agree of what Gianpaolo said, because since we invested a lot on this topic from the start, we have the Dassault development team that is really listen closely to us. I have to say that with 14 years at Visiactive, we never had such a close relationship with the Dassault team that we have now with this product. And this is very important for us because also that means we start first, and so that means the need from our customer are here first, also from Dassault. So this is why it's, I think, great value for all of our customers.
If you could give one piece of advice to companies today about preparing for the future of design and manufacturing, what would it be?
I would say, don't wait, start now. Even if it starts small, start now. Because the future of engineering and manufacturing belongs to the company who embrace the new technology that are coming. And so contact us.
Yes, definitely. Let's work together. We can help you make a plan. So create a plan for your future. It's extremely important. Have a vision, create a plan, trust the plan, and implement the plan. We can help you all the way through these steps.
Happy birthday for these 30 years of SolidWorks. I'm looking forward for the next 30 years.
I will join with the celebration, and I will say it in Italian. Buon compleanno SolidWorks.